Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, radiant barriers, purpose, performance, and installation. Radiant barriers are used in residential construction, mainly in attics, to reduce the heat entering a home during hot weather. They're made from reflective surfaces that bounce radiant heat away instead of absorbing it. Unlike traditional insulation, radiant barriers don't slow down heat conduction. They reduce heat transfer through radiation. How radiant barriers function? Heat moves in three ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is heat moving through solids, like when one end of a metal rod is heated and the other end gets warm. Convection is heat moving through fluids or gases. Warm air rises, cools, and sinks in a cycle. Radiation is heat traveling in straight lines from a hot surface to cooler objects nearby. No direct contact needed. Standard insulation slows heat mainly through conduction and a bit through convection. Radiant barriers reflect radiant energy. For best results, the shiny surface should face an open air gap. If dust settles on the reflective surface, performance drops, so installation should help limit dust exposure. When the sun heats a roof, the heat radiates down and moves through the roof layer by conduction until it reaches the attic. The bottom of the roof then radiates heat onto attic surfaces, including ducts and insulation. A radiant barrier blocks that radiated heat before it reaches deeper into the attic. This makes it easier to keep the home cool. Radiant barriers work best when placed at a right angle to the heat source. They perform better when there's a large temperature difference on either side of the barrier. Material types. In hot climates, especially where ductwork is in the attic, radiant barriers can lower cooling needs. Some studies show that they may reduce cooling energy use by 5 to 10%. That could allow a smaller AC unit in some homes, but in cold climates, it's usually more effective to add standard insulation instead of installing a radiant barrier. Materials and types. Most radiant barriers are made with aluminum foil attached to a backing material. The backing might be craft paper, plastic film, cardboard, or wood-based products like OSB. Some versions include fibers to add strength. Radiant barriers can also be part of reflective insulation systems, serving both as a reflective surface and an insulation facing. Installation guidelines. Proper installation is critical. Hiring a qualified professional is recommended. If doing it yourself, follow the manufacturer's instructions closely and check local codes. Radiant barriers are easiest to install during new construction. In that case, foil is usually stapled to the underside of roof rafters with the reflective side facing down. This helps reduce dust buildup. Double-sided barriers may also be used depending on the attic design. Foil should sag slightly between rafters, creating a 1-inch air gap below the roof. This gap is key to effective heat radiation. Some manufacturers offer foil laminated boards for use during roof construction. Important note, foil conducts electricity. Avoid any contact with exposed wiring. Also, don't install radiant barriers directly on attic floor insulation. That can trap moisture, increase dust buildup, and reduce overall performance. I've used radiant barriers and I have mixed opinion. The performance is questionable, but for those who are experts in this arena, do you install the radiant boards facing up or facing down? Let me know. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching. Hope that helps. See you soon.